What's the most illegal thing your landlord did? My landlord didn't care if everyone burned down with the building. In fact, he would have been thrilled if we did. I was holding the emergency exit door open with my foot, helping my elderly neighbor Mrs. Chia carry her garbage down to the dumpster when my rich old landlord appeared behind us. "What do you think you're doing?" he shouted. Mrs. Chia jumped, nearly dropping her bag. "Taking out trash," I said, explaining how taking the elevator down just to walk around to the other side of the building was more tiring. He scoffed. "You're complaining about exercising? Anyway, this stops today. Homeless people are sneaking in through here." He pulled out a padlock from his pocket and locked the emergency exit. I looked at him confused. "What homeless people? I've been here 3 years and never seen any." He tugged on the lock a few times. "Well, now you won't have to worry about it." Mrs. Chia spoke up quietly. "But how do we move furniture? My grandson is bringing my new bed next week for me." He turned to her. "Buy furniture that fits the elevator. Find solutions, people." He stepped into his apartment and slammed the door. I called the fire marshal the next day, hoping they'd do something about it. When they showed up, I watched from my peephole as he walked them to a completely different door, laughing like old friends. After they left, he knocked on my door. "I know it was you," he said. "Call them again and you're evicted. I have lawyers. You have nothing." 2 days later, I tried talking to him once more in the hallway. "What if there's a real fire?" He smiled. "There won't be. Now stop harassing me about this." With no other choice, people started using the elevator for trash bags. Bits and pieces and spilled liquid seeped onto the elevator carpet and stained the hallways. The smell got so bad that a little kid vomited inside the elevator, making it even more unbearable. Then tenants got tired of the 20-minute walk around the building to reach the dumpster, so they started leaving bags by the elevator door. "It's just until morning," they'd say. But the pile grew. By week 2, there were dozens of bags rotting in the hallway. The landlord walked past them every day without a word. Roaches and rats infested each floor and became the building pet, but the smell wasn't the worst thing to happen yet. 3 weeks later, at 3 a.m., I woke to the fire alarm blaring. Smoke had already started pouring under my door. I grabbed a cloth and pressed it to my face before running out of my room. Outside was pure animalistic chaos. Black smoke filled the air. Everyone pushed toward the elevator. Parents screamed to let the kids go first, while the kids cried on the side, rubbing their eyes from the sting of the polluted air. Mrs. Chia slipped on the garbage bags and fell face first into the rotting pile. People trampled over her trying to reach the elevator. My landlord was at the front of the crowd, shoving people aside. "I'm the landlord, I'm first!" But the elevator wasn't moving. Someone screamed that it was stuck in the lobby. People started grabbing at him. "You did this! You trapped us!" He pushed them off and pulled out a large set of keys from his pocket. His hands shook, sifting through them. Then it fell and got scrambled in with the large bags of garbage. Everyone became even more agitated, digging their hands through the garbage while blinking away the stinging from the smoke and the awful smell. I ran into my apartment and grabbed a hammer from my toolbox. I rushed to the emergency exit and swung the hammer. Bang, bang, bang. The lock shattered on the third strike. "You're paying for that!" he screamed while pushing past me through the very door he'd locked. I held the door as people poured through. Once it was cleared and pulled Mrs. Chia from the garbage and carried her on my back. Halfway down, I spotted another elderly man struggling with his walker and helped him as well. By the time we were out, I fell to the pavement exhausted. The fire chief found me on the sidewalk, coughing up black mucus. "You saved lives tonight," he said. 10 more minutes and that stairwell would have been gone. But the 4th floor hadn't been so lucky. The elderly couple up there had tried to get out, but their emergency exit was also padlocked. By the time someone from another floor reached them, the wife had already inhaled too much smoke. She died at the hospital. Her husband was on a ventilator with severe burns. The fire marshal examined all the exits. 4 padlocks, he told the police. The electrical fire had started in the basement from old wiring the landlord never fixed and spread through the walls like cancer. The next morning, police found my landlord loading boxes into his car. "Going somewhere?" the detective asked. They had his own security footage of him relocking exits after the fire marshal left. "I was protecting tenants from criminals," he said. The fire marshal leaned in. "You killed that woman." He tried to run. They tackled him in the parking lot. Turns out he'd padlocked exits in 12 other buildings. He got 15 years for manslaughter and paid the elderly widower millions. We all got our deposits back and free moving costs. I made sure my next